Dynasty startup season is essentially here. We are looking at 2 quarterbacks in your Superflex leagues that just aren't being valued properly. First name on our list, it is Trevor Lawrence. In the December version of DLF's ADP, he was coming off the board as QB 11. I don't know why. That just naturally feels too low given what we've seen from Trevor Lawrence this season. Since his bye week, he is the QB 4 in points per game. He is 0.1 points per game behind Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. What more do you want to see from Trevor Lawrence that he doesn't deserve to be a top 6, 7 guy in Dynasty at this point? It just doesn't make a ton of sense. We now have year 3, or will have year 3 of Trevor Lawrence. It will be year 2 of Trevor Lawrence in this system. You'll have another year with Christian Kirk, another year with Travis Etienne, and more importantly, the big move that happened this season, you get Calvin Ridley, who in my eyes is still a true number 1 wide receiver. Evan Ingram, who's had a magical resurgence here. Zay Jones. That is a room that is filled with talent and has depth should somebody go down. He's just proven he is every bit as good as we thought he is. And now he's going behind 3 guys that I just don't think makes a ton of sense. Trevor Lawrence is going behind Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's tough. He's not playing well right now. He had 2 years off. Trevor Lawrence looks to be, at least as of today, the better quarterback. I think he's probably a safer pick moving forward than Deshaun Watson, although we all know the ceiling Watson possesses. But in a startup that early, right, you're looking first, second round, I'm not personally looking to take that kind of risk. I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence. He's also going behind Kyler Murray with a torn ACL, and the majority of his value is tied to rushing. So I'm not crazy about the idea of buying a rushing quarterback off of a torn ACL. You're probably looking at a year, if not 2, for him to return to form and return his fantasy value that we got used to seeing these last couple of seasons. And the last one here is Dak Prescott. I'm not on the side of Dak is not good. Dak is a very good quarterback, but the upside for fantasy just does not seem to be there like it is with Trevor Lawrence, right? Dak is a known commodity. We know exactly what he is. Trevor Lawrence is as well at this point, but he's improving and getting better. Right? He's got more top 5 finishes on the season than Dak Prescott does. Trevor Lawrence, I think, offers a little bit higher of a ceiling and basically the same floor. Like, I'm ready to put him there. So give me Lawrence over Dak as well. Jumping over to our second quarterback here. This one is less exciting, less fun. It's Jimmy G. Jimmy G is currently going off the board as QB 31, and that feels too low. With what we saw Jimmy G do this year, I am extremely convinced he is landing in a spot where he is going to be a starting quarterback next year. And there are plenty of teams out there that need one. You have the Commanders, you have the Jets, you have the Colts, you potentially have the Raiders as well. There's a lot of teams out there that just need a quarterback, and Jimmy G will be a starter. The last 3 seasons where he's played at least 10 games, Jimmy G has finished as a top 20 quarterback in points per game. He's not fun, he's not exciting, but he produces. And in Superflex, if you can scoop him as your QB3, that is better than the majority of teams will have in your league. There's 3 names to highlight how ridiculous Jimmy G's ADP is. 3 players that are currently going ahead of him. Zach Wilson, the 3rd, maybe 4th string quarterback for the Jets, just a flat out bad quarterback, going ahead of Jimmy G. That's insane. Desmond Ridder, 3rd round quarterback, not good. 2nd string guy to start the year with Atlanta, has come in, still is just so mediocre and average. His best case scenario feels like a Jimmy G with a little bit of rushing upside. Give me Jimmy G over Desmond Ridder. I don't think ever becomes anything. And then Malik Willis, he has the rushing upside. That's great. He can't pass. He's not a passer. He's going to be a career backup at best, I think is probably the best way to put that for Malik Willis. And that's if he backs up a guy like Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields or any of these other rushing quarterbacks where they don't really want to shift up the offense. Give me Jimmy G over him because I think you get more usable weeks out of Jimmy G than you ever do out of Malik Willis. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, if you like what we're doing here, right, subscribe to the channel. If you have questions, you have comments, you want to talk Dynasty strategy, see certain types of videos, whatever it may be, right, drop it down below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.